here. So number of unit multiplied by rate per units. So depends how many product worker produce, and company pay them according to per product. Let's say worker produce 50 products, and company pay $10 per product. So that means the labor cost will be $500. Right. So same like as our rate plan, piece rate plan also have some kinds of advantages and disadvantages. So let's say we can say that some kinds of strength and weaknesses, right? So the strength of piece rate plan is basically piece rate plan is help us to maximize the output when there is an expected demand in the market. All right. So let's say there is some kinds of demand or the order from the customers, and that order is completely unexpected. So it means we require to maximize the production or output. So in that case, company can easily motivate their workers to work faster, because workers, they know that if they are working fast, company gonna pay them, they're gonna earn more money because company pay them according to number of product. Right? So it's basically maximize the output. But the weakness of this method is that these methods may affect the quality of the product. So quality of product may be sacrificed. Right. Maybe sacrifice the quality of the product, because as the workers, they are working on the product, and company is paying them money per product. So the workers, they like to produce more product in the short period of time, so it means they can earn more money. So that's the reason the quality may be affected. Right, so that's the main idea of piece rate plan. Right, so the third method is a modified wage plan. So modified wage plan is basically the combination of hour rate plan plus piece rate plan. All right. So I give you a quick example. The example that I gave you in the class, I repeat the same example. For example, company pays $10 per hour, and worker works 8 hours in a day, right? And company required worker to produce 5 units in 8 hours, right? 5 units in 8 hours, right? And company pay $5 per unit. All right. So here we can have some assumptions about the output. For example, if worker work 5 units, means 8 hours, produce 5. So whatever company asked worker to do, worker did the same thing. All right. So in that case, the labor cost will be so $10 per hour, and worker works 8 hours. So in that case, the labor cost will be $80. All right, that's the normal situations we have here. All right. So let's say the worker is not efficient. Like as in the beginning of this lecture, I said that sometimes worker performance is not as company expected. All right. So let's say worker produce only 4 units. So in that case, what will be the labor cost? labor cost gonna be again $80 because worker worked 8 hours and company promised to pay $10 per hour. Labor cost will be $80, but in this $80, $5 is inefficient and $75 is efficient. $5 inefficient means company pay 5 units, company asked to produce 5 units and company pay $5 per unit. So worker did not produce $5 means company did not produce 1 unit. Alright, so company having a loss of $5. Right? So means that worker is inefficient because company expected to produce 5 units in $80, but this worker produced 4 units in $80. Right? So it means $5 is factory overhead. Alright? And $75 is a direct labor cost. So means that will transfer to work in process directly, and that will transfer, this one will transfer to manufacturing overhead, and that manufacturing overhead will transfer to work in process. Alright, so the journal entry would be work in process, debit, alright, debit, work in process, credit, direct labor cost, credit, factory overhead. So working process is the $80 because that's the labor cost. Right. So in this $80, $75 is direct and $5 will transfer to overhead. So that's basically the ideas behind the journal entry related to the labor cost. So let's assume worker perform extraordinary. Alright, so let's say, as in our example, I said that company asked to produce 5 units. But for example, if worker produced 6 units, alright, and of course the quality of unit is acceptable by the company. So in that case, worker is working extra. So of course, company will pay $10 per hour multiplied by 8 because work 8 hours. So company will pay at least $80 plus $5 more because worker produced 6 units. So means in that case labor cost will be $85 and all this labor cost will belongs to direct labor. It's non-manufacturing overhead because nothing inefficient here. Alright. So everything is efficient. So company productivity has been increased overall. So that is also efficient. But the options, the examples I gave you here, these examples is about the inefficiency. Productivity has affected. So that considered to be inefficient. So that's the ideas behind the learning outcome 1. Alright. Now we move on to the learning outcome 2. So learning outcome 2. Learning outcome 2 is about the procedure for controlling labor cost. So learning outcome 2 is controlling labor cost. Alright. So in this controlling labor cost, basically we're gonna talk about mainly the documents and the department involved into labor cost. Alright. So first of all, I will talk about the department and forms involved into labor cost. So let's talk from the beginning. If you talk about the department, here we have a two department that's mainly involved into the labor cost. So the first department is a timekeeping department. So timekeeping department basically keep the old records related to the worker hours. How many hours worker works, means how many hours, what time starts, what time finish, break times and all that. Everything will be kept by that keep record department that I said that, right? Timekeeping department, right? And another department involved is a payroll department, which is responsible for calculating the salary of the workers, all right? And then payroll department will transfer that salary to the treasury department, and the treasury department basically involved into such kinds of monetary transactions. Right? So the treasury department will transfer that salary to the worker in form of check or bank transfer, less likely to transfer salary cash. Right? So that's basically the department involved. Right? So timekeeping department and payroll department. Alright. The next one is the form. Which forms we require to keep the labor cost. Right? So here we have three kinds of forms that we have to keep it. So the first one is a payroll record. Second one is the employee earning records. And third one is the payments of net earning. Alright? So, payroll record is basically the summary of the all workers are working in their department. Alright, could be 1,